Hey, yo, shalom. All praises to the Most High, Yehovah, and the Son, Yehoshua. This is Chris Holy Man FX. Let me show you what y'all been missing or what y'all misunderstood about this plugin that Reason made. I guess it's the OSMIUM, something like that. OSMIUM, something like that. Distortion Matrix. And when you see it, you just say, okay, this is the distortion plugin. I read a lot of comments. Everybody was talking about, oh, it's a waste of plugin, waste of time. Reason keep doing this and that. It ain't adding no features and stuff. Some people was right about what they were saying, about not adding the features and stuff. I get that. Oh, there was a waste of time for the plugin. I don't know why they made this. And, they added more plugins for the rack because they about to stop making the DAW. They only just gonna do the rack. I'm gonna show you why that's not true, bro. I'm gonna tell you, y'all missed the whole point of why they designed this shit, bro. Number one, even though we got rack extensions, and you go down here, I go down to my plugin rack extension, RE, right? I got a multi-band compressor and a multi-band limiter. I had to get that from RE, right? And these is pretty dope because Reason don't have a multi-band compressor. Reason don't have a multi-band limiter. Now, it do have multi-band compressor as far as if you go to the browser and you go to like the presets and everything, they do have a combinator concept how they do that. Where you could drop a combinator in and they got it rigged up that way. So you still can use it that way. And it's still dope to use it that way if you just want to be creative, right? But if you're a person that don't want to use so many plugins, just accomplish one type of style of tool, Reason never had that. You had to go to rack extensions or you had to get your own third-party plugin to get a multi-band compressor, a multi-band limiter, right? And we know how important multi-band compressors are, right? Keep that in mind. So now we have that. Not only we have a multi-band, this is a multi-band concept. Not only you have a multi-band, you can multi-band a compressor. You can have a multi-band saturation. You have a multi-band overdrive. You can have a multi-band wave folder. You can have a multi-band bit crusher. You can have a multi-band morph parametric cabinet, a multi-band dynamic noise gate, or a transient shaper, a multi-band feedback, a pitch shifter or delay, a multi-band delay. You can have a multi-band of all these and come up with a crazy dope concept. You can have a multi-band everything. Now, what would have been dope is that they would have put a deesser in here. Because again, I got to use a deesser from rack extensions, which is still dope. This deesser right, as you see right here, this is a pretty dope deesser. But what I want y'all to understand is this. For some reason, even though rack extensions function better inside of Reason, better than the outside third-party plugins, as far as CPU management stuff like that, but they don't function better than the stuff that's designed completely for Reason, that Reason designed. Like their stock stuff and their things that they designed that you can use in their DAW. Like they stuff is always going to function better and manage better. That means that you can use multiple of them shits and you won't have no issues. But when you go to rack extensions, you're going to find this multi-band right here would take more CPU than this. If I drop this in right now and then I go right here and I turn, this on, see right now, I'm not even playing it. It's saying 5%. I'm not playing no vocals, right? 5% just for this plugin. So imagine you put this on multiple tracks. This is only saying 1 or 2%. So that little percentage matters inside of the DAW Reason. That's my point. Like, cause I was testing something right quick. I was adding a multiple tracks on here, as you can see, and I was testing a whole bunch of CPU to see how many tracks I can go without before it start crackling. And I'm always doing that type of testing stuff, man. I'm always experimenting because you got to know what your DAW can handle, right? Every DAW got a limitation, people. Every DAW, your computer can be very powerful, but it still eventually have a limitation, period, based on what you're using. And when you're using third-party plugins, you're gonna run into more CPU intensive, okay, based on what you're using. So that's my point. So they thinking this is only a distortion. No. Like, this is a multi-band where you can, have a multi-band, a transient shaper, a regular decent multi-band EQ. It might won't be in depth, but that multi-band concept comes in handy. So now if you got the RE stuff, you don't even got to have these in here. You can just move these out, right? You can just move those out because now you got something that that can manage CPU better, right? That's the whole key. That's the whole point, right? You can still have, it's up to you how you want to do it. But that's the part that y'all missing, bro. But like I was saying, they still should have put a deesser in here. That would have been dope. Even though you got the compressor, you could tweak it like a deesser. I mean, that's what a deesser is. But I don't know what it is. It seemed like when they create a deesser, it seemed like to me it functioned better compared to when you're just using the regular compressor. I don't know why it's like that, bro. But the deesser is nothing but a compressor. It just has the frequency concept set on here, so you still can set this to a deesser concept. I think it got enough options. Yeah, you still can set this to a deesser concept, but there's just no frequency option on here to deal with the frequency where you probably can put it under here. So not only this is okay. Yep. Not only this is not only is this multi-band, but you could add 3 different effects on that band. 3 different things on that band. So you can have a compressor, at the top, compressor, go down here and put a, EQ. Matter of fact, I'll take that back. This is the band right here. This is the frequency area. How you want that compressor to affect that frequency for that, those vocals. So technically you don't even have to, if you want to use the multi-band, you can set this compressor a certain way to affect the frequencies right here, to affect these frequencies, to affect these frequencies. Multi-band EQ. You feel me? That's the purpose of it, y'all. Tell me what y'all think. Shalom.